So here's the thing. There's been quite the repeated discourse about whether Kingdom Hearts is actually that convoluted and confusing, and whether it really matters if people who are new to the series play the games in release order versus chronological order. And now it's gotten to the point where the Kingdom Hearts is convoluted YouTube topic trend is feeling a little grifty. It's giving a little grifty grift. Whether people earnestly believe that Kingdom Hearts is convoluted or not no longer really matters, because it seems that implying somewhere in your content that the series is confusing and convoluted is the way to get people's attention.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
gets the people going.
So because this topic came up again recently, and because I found the time in the gap, let's revisit the timeline and the non-linear storytelling aspects of Kingdom Hearts. Welcome back, y'all, by the way. This is Empowered Muse. And again, today we're going to talk about the timeline, more so the non-linear aspect of it for the Kingdom Hearts series. The Kingdom Hearts story reflects less about linear time and more about the power of memory, particularly memories of the past. In fact, Kingdom Hearts has basically taken some notes from some more notable mythologies, which tend to be told in a non-linear fashion. This is probably one of the main but more subtle features that tend to separate Kingdom Hearts from some other video games, because the lore of Kingdom Hearts, at least when we go by the release order of the games, isn't told in a linear fashion, but does depend on understanding pretty much each release in order to fully appreciate the story. It's pretty clear that the way in which Kingdom Hearts is told through the series emphasizes emotional payoff over just straight linear storytelling. One of the biggest examples of this is how we come to know Ventus in Birth by Sleep, and then find out in Union Cross that he was actually a dandelion and a fake Union leader since he killed Strelitzia and took her spot. I'd argue that it's a bigger emotional payoff to play the game in release order and first see Ven as this cinnamon roll who fights off Vanitas at the expense of his heart and winds up in a 10-year coma, and then get his backstory of how he's actually been around a lot longer than we realize, and he has a way more complicated past. And the same argument can be said about meeting Roxas first in Kingdom Hearts 2 and knowing him first as Sora's nobody before we get the bigger emotional payoff of his time in Organization 13, and due to Shion's sacrificial decision, seeing why that led him to leave the organization. Another storytelling tool that's used in the Kingdom Hearts series is the use of memory, flashbacks, and dreams as a sort of form of emotional time travel. This is actually really common in storytelling, period, so I don't actually think this would be a factor that confuses people. That said, memory and dreams have become pivotal to the Kingdom Hearts story itself, to the point where at least dreams have their own realm. And honestly, for what Kingdom Hearts is, this is a good way to keep the series fresh and not wind up in the trap of relying on overly explicit expository all the time. I mean, we do still get the expository throughout, but it does help to have the visuals of memories and dreams. Additionally, when it comes to the release order versus chronological order debate or argument, I actually think Kingdom Hearts release order is sort of just following in the footsteps of Star Wars. This is the second video this year where I've made a Star Wars reference, and ironically, I do so as like the most casual Star Wars fans. Like, I know the gist of the story, but I'm not a hardcore Star Wars fan. Sorry, Star Wars. But like Star Wars, Kingdom Hearts begins with the main character, but the universe existed long before that main character. And we see just that in the prequels. And while I don't think Kingdom Hearts is a one-to-one comparison to Star Wars, I do think there are storytelling aspects of Star Wars that influence Kingdom Hearts, especially because it's been said that Director Nomura is a big Star Wars fan. So I think those who tend to argue in bad faith for the sake of bashing Kingdom Hearts use the reason of it doesn't make sense to start in the middle, or it's too confusing to play in release order. Those are strong points to argue against playing the games in release order. Obviously, I'm very much on the side of play how you want to play, but I do think there was some storytelling intention behind having the games released in the order that they were released. Another interesting aspect about how the story of Kingdom Hearts is told is through this method of repeating arcs. We basically see how certain characters' trajectories could have gone depending on the decision they made or the type and amount of support or attention they got. So for example, in my previous video, I basically explained how Birth by Sleep was a manufactured tragedy from a series of unfortunate events and decisions. So we saw how the fates of Terra, Aqua, and Ven got stalled for 10 years compared to the journeys of Riku, Kairi, and Sora, respectively. Again, the Wayfinder Trio and the Destiny Trio aren't fully one-to-one comparisons, but we can see how certain arcs did repeat, specifically with Terra and Riku and their ambitions and openness to darkness. We also see a bit of comparison with Kairi and Aqua, where Aqua's trajectory could reflect some of what Kairi desires in embracing more of that protector role for her friends. We also see repeating arcs with Sora and Roxas, which isn't that much of a leap since Roxas basically deviated from Sora, but we see two different paths resulting from losing friends. While Sora typically went towards a more hopeful route throughout most of the series, Roxas went towards the more vengeful route. And we even get a glimpse of repeating friendship dynamics with these repeating arcs. I think the most vivid representation of a repeating friendship dynamic is comparing Xehanort and Ericus's friendship to Sora and Riku's friendship. More so their Kingdom Hearts 1 version of friendship, or maybe a potential dark turn in the Lost Master arc. But we see how Xehanort, choosing to hone his powers and continue down the path of darkness, drove a wedge between his and Ericus's friendship, as well as Ericus's inflexibility towards darkness. However, with Sora and Riku made the decision to conquer his darkness and redirect it to light, and Sora was open enough to give Riku the space to grow through his trials. Again, like Star Wars, Kingdom Hearts isn't told fully linearly, and it even centers our main characters' beginnings in what could be considered as a chronological middle of their respective universes. That said, Kingdom Hearts also appears to follow some of the same storytelling aspects as some mythologies, in that mythologies across cultures are told in more non-linear manners. A lot of popular Greek mythologies are the first examples that come to mind when it comes to non-linear mythologies. I would say Greek mythologies are the more extreme examples of non-linear storytelling. If you think Kingdom Hearts confusing, just try revisiting the Odyssey. So when comparing Kingdom Hearts to some of the non-linear cultural mythologies, we can definitely see the more subtle elements of nonlinear storytelling in Kingdom Hearts that still work to continue to form this video game epic. At first glance, the Kingdom Hearts timeline looks long and a little confusing and even convoluted, but when we look closer, the brokenness is itself the point. Time in Kingdom Hearts is less about linear progression and more about emotional resonance. The way memories echo forward and backward, the way legacies repeat, and the way cycles of light and darkness never fully resolve. By focusing a little less on direct exposition, I don't think Director Nomura intended to confuse us, but rather force us to experience time the way the characters do. A little fragmented and uncertain and stitched together by memory and repeating arcs. Within the supposed convolution, we find something more powerful than order, a myth that mirrors the complexity of life itself. You can say that the Kingdom Hearts timeline is broken on purpose, because growing up like storytelling is never neat, it's messy, rhyming, and unfinished. But I want to hear from you, so let me know what you think about the Kingdom Hearts timeline and its non-linear storytelling aspects in the comments below. If you want to explore some more Kingdom Hearts theories, I'll be linking another Kingdom Hearts theory video here in the end screen. And as always, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed this video and want to watch more Kingdom Hearts content. And if there's anyone who may have questions about what to expect for the upcoming Kingdom Hearts game, be sure to share this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.